Yes, good afternoon. So we'll wait for 2 more minutes and we'll start the session. Today we'll be discussing third chapter, basically which is audit strategy, planning, and execution. Actually, this chapter it was scheduled to be done on 23rd, but due to some issues, I was not able to take live this particular class. So today we will be discussing this particular chapter. I guess my voice is audible. Okay, we'll start with the discussion of the chapter. If at all you have any doubts during the discussion of chapter, you can let me know in the comment section. I'll be taking up all your doubts at the end of the session. This is basically a small chapter. We'll be completing revision of this chapter within 1 hour. Okay? Yes, sir. This chapter, basically in the first chapter we have covered aspects related to SA-200, right? Next, in the second chapter we have discussed SA-210, right? Engagement letter. Now once the engagement letter has been drafted, once you have accepted the audit engagement, next step is to plan for the audit, right? Basically in the audit there are three stages. What are the three stages of audit? First one, planning stage. Next one, execution stage. Final third stage is reporting stage, right? These are the three stages of audit. This first stage, planning stage, we will be covering in this particular chapter, which will be dealt by SA 300. Next, this third step is there, na? Third stage, which is reporting stage. This will be covered by complete 700 series. In SA 700 series, we are basically having 6 standards, but at CA intermediate level, we only have 5 standards. SA 720 is not applicable for CA intermediate level, right? So complete 700 series deals with reporting stage, and with respect to execution stage, remaining all other standards they deal with execution stage. These are the three stages of audit, right? Now I told you that before starting the audit we have to properly plan the audit. What happens if we don't plan the audit? Why planning audit is required? See, planning audit will help to conduct effective audit in an efficient and timely manner. Sir, what is that, sir? You are saying effective, efficiency. What are these two terms? We will discuss the difference between effectiveness and efficiency. But you remember that planning is required for conducting effective audit in an efficient manner. See, why to plan the audit? To conduct effective audit in an efficient and a timely manner, You have to properly plan the audit. Now, coming to the discussion of these two terms, effectiveness and efficiency. Let me explain you these terms with the help of an example. Firstly, effectiveness. See, these two terms, they are very much important. You will be using these two terms not only in this particular standard, even in further chapters also we will be using this effectiveness and efficiency. Let's say for example, there are two students, Mr. A, Mr. B. These two students, they are preparing for CA intermediate examinations. Let's say their target is to clear both the groups. Both the groups of CA intermediate examinations they wanted to clear. So they are studying for both the groups. Mr. A, he wrote examinations. He was able to clear only group 1, but his target was to clear both the groups, right? Mr. B also wrote the examinations. He cleared both the groups. His target was to clear both the groups. He cleared both the groups. So here you will say that Mr. B is 100% effective because he has achieved his complete target. Whereas Mr. A is only 50% effective because he has achieved only some portion of his target. So effectiveness is nothing but measure of achievement of your objective or measure of achievement of your target. That is known as effectiveness. Next, efficiency. What is meant by efficiency? Let us continue with the same example. So Mr. A and Mr. B both are preparing for CA intermediate examinations. Their target is to clear both the groups. Mr. A, he studied for 6 months and he appeared examinations. He cleared both the groups. So he is effective. He is 100% effective, right? Whereas Mr. B, Mr. B studied for 3 months only and he also cleared both the groups. So Mr. B is also 100% effective. But coming to efficiency, from these two people, Mr. A and Mr. B, who is more efficient? Mr. B is more efficient because he has achieved the target with lesser resources, with lesser time. That is known as efficiency. So efficiency is a comparison of use of resources. So you should be able to achieve your target with using lesser resources. That is known as efficiency. So in order to conduct effective audit, so why planning is required? In order to conduct the effective audit, that means what is the objective of your audit? Objective of your audit is to obtain reasonable assurance that the financial statements as a whole are free from material misstatements, whether due to fraud or error. That is your objective, right? So if you properly plan the audit, you will be able to achieve that objective, effectiveness, and you will be able to complete your audit with lesser resources if you properly plan the audit. See, in case of audit, resources means nothing but manpower, the time that you consume, those are the resources. Main resource will be manpower. Getting it? So whenever anyone asks you why to plan the audit, to conduct the effective audit in an efficient manner, you have to plan the audit. That's what you need to say. Next, what are the benefits of planning? See, there are various advantages that you get if you properly plan the audit. First of all, you can devote proper time, appropriate attention and appropriate time to more important areas. So in the planning stage itself, you can identify which area is of high risk, which area is of less risk. For the area where the risk is high, you can devote more resources in that area. So this is possible if you properly plan the audit, right? This is one of the advantage of planning the audit. Next, you can also resolve potential problems. Potential problems means presently that problem is not there, but it might occur in the future. So potential means the one which can occur in the future. So you can guess the potential problems and solve them before those problems occur. So that is possible if you properly plan the audit. Next, properly organize and manage the entire audit engagement. So entire audit will be under your control. You can easily manage the audit if you have proper plan for execution, right? And selection of engagement team members, of course. So if you have a proper planning, you can decide which area has to be allocated to which engagement team member. Based on the audit work that you have, you can also decide how many people has to be there in your engagement team. And let's say for example you are doing audit of a bank. Now for doing audit of a bank, the people who are having more expertise in the area of banking, you can select them into your engagement team. So having a proper plan will help you to decide or to select engagement team members into your engagement team and properly allocate the work to each of the engagement team member. And next, direction and supervision of engagement team, yes, it is also possible. And coordination of work done by others such as experts. See, auditor, he is not expert in all areas. Auditor is expert only in accounting and auditing. While conducting the audit, there will be various areas where auditor might be required to take help of experts. Like for example, gratuity calculation, management would have made a provision for gratuity. Auditor is not expert in those calculations, so he will appoint an actuary who is expert in those calculations provisions, right? So if you properly plan the audit, before only you will get to know whether in this entity should I hire any expert or can I only do the complete audit. Is there a requirement for using the work of the expert? That can be identified if you properly plan the audit. So all these are some of the advantages of properly planning the audit. See, with respect to advantages, there are three advantages in this particular chapter. First one is advantages of properly planning the audit. These are these advantages which we have discussed. There are also advantages related to audit strategy. Okay, what are the advantages that you get because of audit strategy? And there are also advantages related to audit program. So these three advantages you should not confuse. While I discuss further in this chapter, I will explain you how to remember these three advantages without forgetting. Okay, without confusing. Next, elements of planning process. So in the elements of a planning process, firstly we have preliminary engagement activities. Preliminary engagement activities means, preliminary means before accepting the engagement or starting the engagement, you will conduct certain activities. They are known as preliminary engagement activities. If you see these preliminary engagement activities, we will also be discussing them in SQC1 and also SA-220. We have discussion of this preliminary engagement activities even in that standards also. Same points will be there here also. See, firstly, client acceptance and continuance procedure. So when any client comes to you asking to do audit of their financial statements, will you accept the engagement immediately just like that? No, you have to perform client acceptance and continuance procedures. So what are those client acceptance and continuance procedures? First of all, you will check integrity of management. Integrity of management means, are the management truthful or are they fraudsters? Are there any pending cases against the management? Are they involved in any money laundering activities? So like this, you will check the integrity of the management. See, integrity of the principal owners and the management. Next, okay, you have checked the integrity of the management. If you find that management is not having proper integrity, owners are not having integrity, then you will not accept the engagement. Let's say management, owners, they are having proper integrity. Next, you will also check, okay, they are having proper integrity. If I accept that engagement, will my engagement team be able to discharge that work? Is my engagement team having knowledge to discharge that work? That also you will see competence of your engagement team. Next, communication with the predecessor auditor. See, that client has come to you for the first time. Now, in the previous year, some other auditor might have audited that client. That client has removed that previous auditor and it has come to you. If it has removed the previous auditor, means there could have been some reason why the client removed the previous auditor, right? So, you, before accepting this engagement, you have to once communicate with the previous auditor, predecessor auditor, asking him why the management has removed you. Do you have anything to communicate with me? Please communicate. Like this, you need to basically you need to obtain a NOC, no objection certificate, from the predecessor auditor. So that also comes under preliminary engagement activity. Next, implications of current and previous audit matters. After that, so all these they come under client acceptance and continuance procedure. After that, you will check compliance with ethical requirements. So if you accept the engagement of this particular client, while doing the audit, can you follow ethical requirements? Those 5 ethical requirements, fundamental principles we have seen, whether all those 5 ethical requirements can I follow if I accept this particular client, or will I have to compromise? Are there any threats to my independence? Okay, ethical requirements including independence, will I be able to follow while conducting the audit of this particular client? That you will check. See, compliance with ethical requirements including independence. Are there any threats to my independence? That you will see. Threats to independence we have seen in second chapter, right? Next, understanding of the terms of engagement. So in the engagement letter, the terms of engagement will be there. There should be proper understanding of the terms of engagement between you and the client. This point we have already seen in SA-210. All these they come under preliminary engagement activities. So under preliminary engagement activities, first one is client acceptance continuance procedure. Under that there are 4 points. Next, compliance with ethical requirements including independence while conducting the audit. And finally, understanding the terms of engagement. Got it? Yes. Next part of these elements of a planning process is planning activities. So first part of elements of complete planning process is that preliminary engagement activities, and the second part is planning activities. In these planning activities, there are 3 things. What are they? First one, you will prepare overall audit strategy. I'll explain you what is overall audit strategy. After preparing overall audit strategy, you will prepare audit plan. I'll explain you what is the difference between strategy and plan. After audit plan is prepared, you'll also prepare audit program, right? Yes, sir. So, firstly, starting with overall audit strategy. See, the strategy that the auditor prepares, it will answer 2 questions with respect to the audit. What has to be audited and when it has to be audited. Okay, these 2 questions will be answered in the strategy. So what has to be audited means which areas has to be audited, scope, what is the scope of audit, and when, at what time these areas has to be audited, timing of audit. These 2 questions will be answered by strategy. And you should remember that strategy is not detailed, it is just brief. Understanding? Plan, audit plan is more detailed than strategy. Getting it? So audit strategy answers 2 questions. They are what has to be audited and when it has to be audited. So it basically sets scope and timing and direction of the audit. So this is the strategy. So in strategy, you will specify the scope of audit, that is what has to be audited and when it has to be audited. Now, once a strategy is prepared, you will get to know what has to be audited. Now, you know what has to be audited, but how you have to audit it? Okay, what audit procedures you have to perform on that area? That will be answered by audit plan. So, audit plan answers how to conduct the audit. That detailed steps of how to do the audit will be there in the audit plan. See, developing audit plan. So audit plan addresses how and contains the list of audit procedures. Plan is based on strategy. So you will first of all prepare the strategy. In the strategy, you will mention what has to be audited, when it has to be audited, and based on strategy, you will prepare the plan. In the plan, it will be mentioned how to audit that area. Understanding? So the question how will be answered by audit plan. So what will be there in the audit plan? Basically, audit plan will contain all the list of audit procedures. What are the audit procedures? Basically, we are having risk assessment procedures, right? As per SA-300, we will be discussing in the next chapter. And we are also having further audit procedures, right? As per SA-300, auditors' responses, further audit procedures, right? Further audit procedures and other audit procedures. So audit plan contains these three things: risk assessment procedures, further audit procedures, and other audit procedures. See, if you observe audit plan, see, contents of audit plan. It contains planned risk assessment procedures as per SA 315. Next, planned further audit procedures as per SA 330. See, further audit procedures means substantive procedures, test of controls, those things only. Okay, I will explain you these audit procedures in depth in the next chapter, fourth chapter. Next, other planned audit procedures. So audit plan contains list of audit procedures that has to be performed. Those list of audit procedures are nothing but these three only. Getting it? Yes, sir. Got it, sir. Next, coming to audit program. So what is audit program? By now we understood what is audit strategy, what is audit plan, but what is audit program? First of all, you remember that audit program also contains list of audit procedures only. So audit program also contains a list of audit procedures only? Yes. Even audit plan also contains a list of audit procedures only? Yes. Then what is the difference between audit plan and the audit program? See, audit plan contains list of audit procedures for entire audit of the company. Okay, whereas audit program contains list of audit procedures that has to be performed by a specific audit team member. So when you go for audit, only one individual will not go for audit. Audit team will go, right? Let's say in this audit team, there are 4 people: Mr. A, Mr. B, Mr. C, Mr. D. These 4 people together went for doing the audit. Now, principal, what he will do is, he will prepare audit program for each of these team members. Okay, a audit program for Mr. A audit program for Mr. B, a audit program for Mr. C, a audit program for Mr. D. So in this audit program, all the procedures that Mr. A has to perform will be listed. In the second audit program, all the procedures Mr. B has to perform, that will be listed. Understand? So audit program contains list of procedures that has to be performed by a particular team member. So audit program is unique to each team member. Understanding? So the principal, he will prepare audit program for each of the team member. Audit program also contains audit procedures only. Getting it? See, many students, they will face this doubt of difference between audit strategy, plan and program. I guess you people are clear with this now. I guess there is no doubt. Yes, sir. So see, audit program, it is a detailed step-by-step procedure on how to audit an item given to a particular assistant. So to each assistant, you will prepare a separate audit program which contains the list of audit procedures which has to be performed by him. Next, some of the points with respect to overall audit strategy. I have already explained you what will be there in the overall audit strategy, right? We will see some more concepts with respect to overall audit strategy. Firstly, we will be seeing benefits of overall audit strategy. So what benefits you will get because of overall audit strategy? So all the benefits that you get because of overall audit strategy are related to resources, like employment of qualitative resources. So which type of resource should be included into your engagement team? Audit strategy will help to decide that. Okay, to decide quality of resource. See here, resource means nothing but team member, understanding. So quality of resources, in deciding the quality of resources, audit strategy will help you. Next, in deciding the quantity of resources, see allocation of quantity of resources, for that also audit strategy will help you. Next, timing of deployment of resources, when these resources has to be deployed for doing the audit, and finally managing these resources. So all the advantages that you get because of a strategy are related to resources. So you need to remember the advantages that you get because of audit planning are these 6 advantages. Okay, you should not confuse in the examination. And the advantages that you get because of strategy is related to resources. Those 4 advantages which we have seen here. Getting it? Yes, sir. Next, while developing audit strategy, you need to consider certain 5 factors. By considering these 5 factors, you need to develop audit strategy. What are those 5 factors that you need to consider? First one is characteristics of the engagement. See, identify characteristics of engagement. What is meant by characteristics of engagement? See, characteristics of a person means whether he is tall, whether he is short, he is black, he is white. Those are characteristics of a person, right? Similarly, what are the characteristics of engagement? Engagement characteristics means which financial reporting framework is used for preparation of financial statements, in which type of industry this company is operating. All these they come under characteristics of engagement. So while developing audit strategy, you need to consider characteristics of engagement, because let's say the way you will prepare audit strategy for a banking company will be different from the way in which you will prepare audit strategy for a normal manufacturing company, right? So based on characteristics of the engagement, your audit strategy changes. So first thing that you need to consider in preparing audit strategy is characteristics of the engagement. Next, ascertain reporting objectives. Reporting objectives means, see, generally you will be giving audit report as per auditing standards. That is one of the reporting objectives. Next, for some companies, you should also give CARO reporting, right? That is another reporting objective. And for some companies, you should also report on internal financial controls or financial reporting. That is another reporting. And in case of banking companies, you should also report on LFIR, long form audit report. So all these are reporting objectives. So if more reporting objectives are there, your strategy will be more detailed, correct or not? More things should be included in the strategy. So while developing audit strategy, you should consider what are your reporting objectives. Based on your reporting objectives, you will develop your audit strategy. Next, factors that are important in directing engagement team efforts. See, let's say for example, if in a particular area Romum is high, Will you direct more engagement team efforts to that area? Yes, of course. So while developing audit strategy, you should consider the areas where the engagement team efforts should be directed, where the more engagement team efforts should be directed. That is a third factor that you need to consider. And consider the results of preliminary engagement activities. What are the preliminary engagement activities? Client acceptance and continuance procedure, whether you will be able to act ethically and whether you will be able to comply with independence or not. So those things you have already performed these preliminary engagement activities. The results of those preliminary engagement activities also you should consider while developing the audit strategy. Like, let's say for example, in your preliminary engagement activities, you got to know that management has done some fraudulent activities in the past, and you have, even though management has committed some fraudulent activities in the past, you have accepted the engagement. Now, since you have accepted the engagement, knowing that management has committed some frauds, you should be very much careful in doing the audit. So, this factor you should consider while developing the audit strategy. Understanding? Yes, sir. Next, nature, timing, extent of resources necessary for performing the engagement. So, all these are the 5 factors that you need to consider for developing an overall audit strategy. Next, coming to documentation, see, you, with respect to this SA-300, you need to document the overall audit strategy that you have prepared. You should also document audit plan that you have prepared, and if at all any changes has taken place to overall audit strategy or audit plan, the reasons why you have made changes to overall audit strategy and to overall audit plan, that also you need to document. See, significant changes made to strategy or plan and reasons for such changes. All these 3 things you need to document as per SA 300. Now, what is the advantage of documenting these things? See, benefits of documentation. It will act as record of key decisions that has taken place. It will also act as record of nature, timing, extent of risk assessment procedures, RAP, as per SA 315, right? And it will also act as record of reasons for change in the strategy and plan. So documenting strategy, documenting plan will help you to document the key decisions that has been taken by you, and also it will help you to document nature, timing, extent of risk assessment procedures that has been performed by you. And also finally, you have, if at all you have changed your plan or strategy, documenting it will help you to document the reasons why you have changed the strategy or the plan. So these are benefits of documentation. Next, there is a relationship between audit strategy and audit plan. We will see the concepts which involve the relationship between audit strategy and audit plan. See, first of all, relationship between audit strategy and audit plan. You tell me which is prepared first, audit strategy or audit plan? Of course, audit strategy is prepared first. Based on audit strategy, audit plan will be prepared, right? So, strategy is prepared before the plan, and which is more detailed, plan is more detailed when compared to the strategy, right? So plan is more detailed than the strategy. And of course, audit plan and audit strategy both are interrelated. If you change the strategy, plan also should be changed. So strategy and plan are interrelated, and strategy provides guidelines for developing the plan. Of course, the audit plan that you develop, it is based on the strategy that you have already developed, right? Next, tell me whose responsibility it is to prepare audit strategy and audit plan. Of course, it is responsibility of auditor, right? So it is auditor's responsibility to prepare strategy and plan. And who will involve in developing audit strategy and audit plan? See, engagement partner along with key engagement team members. Together they will prepare audit plan and strategy. See, engagement partner and other key members should be involved in planning. And this audit plan and audit strategy which has been developed by the auditor, can this be communicated to management? The answer is yes. You can communicate your audit plan, audit strategy to management, but care has to be taken that effectiveness of audit doesn't get compromised. Okay, so auditor may discuss planning with the entity's management, but care has to be taken not to compromise on effectiveness of the audit. Got it? Yes. Next, can the plan or strategy be changed during the audit? Of course, as you start doing the audit, based on the new information that you acquire, based on changes in the circumstances due to all these reasons, because of result of unexpected events, or because of changes in the conditions, or because of additional audit evidences that has been obtained, or change in law notification or government policy, because of all these reasons you might have to change your plan and strategy. So it is completely permitted, completely allowed to change your plan and strategy during the audit. It is not that in the planning stage you will prepare a plan, you will prepare a strategy, and you have to stick to that plan and strategy. No, as the audit progress, because of all these events, there can be changes that can be made to the plan and strategy. Getting it? So see, auditor should update and change strategy and plan during the audit. Some of the factors to be considered are these factors. Okay, because of these four factors, changes to plan and strategy can happen. This is basically a small chapter. So we are in the last page. We are going to complete this. Next, discussion about audit program. I already told you what is meant by audit program. What will be there in the audit program? Audit program contains a list of audit procedures that has to be performed, right? So consists of list of verification procedures. Now tell me, can you prepare one audit program and use it for all the audits of all the businesses? No, it is not possible. One audit program is not practicable, not practicable for all audits, because entities vary in the nature, in the size, type of business that they perform. So it is not possible to design one audit program and use it for all the companies. No, you have to customize, you have to develop a audit program for each and every audit that you perform, right? So one audit program not practicable for all businesses. Why? Because business vary in nature, size and composition, and also efficiency and operation of internal controls. The way in which internal controls operate in the organization, that also vary from entity to entity. So you cannot have a single audit program and use it for audits of all the companies. Understanding? Generally, how it will how the audit program will be developed is, see, auditor what he will do is, he will develop a standardized audit program. Okay, a standardized audit program will be there. For this standardized audit program, as he gathers experience, more procedures will be added to this. And in some situations, if he feels that certain procedures are not required for this particular entity, the procedures will be removed from this program. Understanding? So for this standardized audit program, based on the requirements of the entity, new procedures will get added, existing procedures will be deleted. Understanding? See, auditor develops a standard audit program to provide for minimum essential work. A standard audit program will be developed, and program may be altered as experience is gained, and similarly unnecessary procedures may be dropped off. So if, let's say for example, in this audit program certain procedures are there in the standard audit program, but for the entity that you are going to audit, some of the procedures are not required. You will delete those procedures for that entity. You will customize the standard audit program for the particular entity that you are going to audit. Getting it? And when you give audit program to a particular article assistant, let's say you have developed an audit program and gave that audit program to the article assistant. Now, you should not tell the article assistant to strictly stick on to this audit program. No, you should tell the article assistant to be open minded. Don't just stick to this audit program. You perform all procedures that are there in the audit program. Beyond these audit procedures, if at all you want to perform some more procedures based on the circumstances, you perform those other procedures also. So you should ask article assistant to keep open minded, not just to stick the audit program. Okay, not just to stick to the audit program. See, so assistant should be encouraged to keep open mind beyond the program. And while constructing this audit program, what are the points that needs to be kept in mind? See, scope and limitation of assignment. See, scope, where the scope will be fixed in the audit strategy, scope will be fixed, right? So while developing audit program, you need to consider the audit strategy. That's what they are saying scope means. Next, written audit program. Of course, audit program, it should be in written, it should not be in oral format. Okay, you have to write the audit program and give it to the article assistant. And identify the best evidence available. So I told you that in the audit program, audit procedures will be there. This audit procedures should be in such a manner that by performing this audit procedures, the article assistant will be able to obtain best available audit evidence. Understanding? In such a manner, the audit procedures should be present in this audit program. And audit objective for each area. So for each and every area, there will be particular audit objective. Like for fixed assets, the objective is to check whether fixed assets are actually present or not. For sales, the objective is to check whether entity has entered any fake sales. So like this, for each and every area, there will be a particular audit objective. Based on the audit objective that you want to achieve, the respective audit procedures you have to perform, right? So while developing audit program, you need to consider the audit objectives of each area. Next, possibilities of error. So these are the things that you need to consider while drafting or while developing your audit program. Now, this audit program, it suffers certain disadvantages. What are the disadvantages of audit program? That we will see. After disadvantages, there are also advantages of audit program, that also we'll see. First of all, we'll see disadvantages of audit program. Firstly, in this audit program, you are giving list of audit procedures and giving it to the article assistant, saying the article assistant to perform these audit procedures. Now, for first audit, he might feel it somewhat enthusiastic. For the second audit also, he might feel somewhat interested. But same procedures, if he keep on performing for all the audits, fourth audit, fifth audit, sixth audit, at one point of time, he feels that work is so mechanical, because there are certain list of procedures, same procedures he needs to perform. So he might feel it mechanical. So this is one of the disadvantage. Work may become mechanical. However, this disadvantage can be overcome. How? By asking the article assistant to keep open-minded. If you ask the article assistant to keep open-minded, he will go beyond the audit program, right? In that way, the work will not be mechanical to the article assistant, right? So that is the disadvantage, and I also told you how to overcome the disadvantage. Next, rigid and inflexible. Yes, one of the disadvantages, you are giving this list of procedures and asking the assistant to do this, so it is very rigid and inflexible. To overcome this, again asking him to be open minded, same solution for this second disadvantage also. Next, inefficient assistant may take shelter behind the program. So some article assistants, what they will do is, let's say for example, they have to perform a particular audit procedure. Let's say verification of debtors. Okay, verification of debtors. Now, for verification of debtors in the audit program, it has been written that send the external confirmations. So, article assistant, what he has done in the article program, in the audit program, it is written to send external confirmation. He sent external confirmation to all the debtors. Okay, done. Now, external confirmation sent to, let's say, for example, Mr. A. In the books of accounts, Mr. A's balance is being shown as 2 lakh rupees. That Mr. A has to pay 2 lakh rupees. Now, Mr. A sent a response to the audit team stating that he has to pay only 1.5 lakh. Now, in the books of accounts, it is showing 2 lakhs, but in the external confirmation response received from Mr. A, it is showing as 1.5 lakh. Now, in this situation, it becomes a duty of the article assistant who has sent the external confirmation to dwell deeper why this difference has occurred. He needs to further investigate, right? Yes, any article assistant, he has to do that. But this article assistant, what he has done is, he has done nothing. He has taken that external confirmation response and he kept in the audit file. When principal came and asked the article assistant, Array, here there is a difference between amount that is present in the books of accounts and the response that you have received. You have to further investigate this situation. Like this, principal has asked the article assistant. Article assistant is telling, sir, in the audit program, it is written to send external confirmation. I sent external confirmation. So whatever is written in the audit program, I did that. It is not present in the audit program to investigate the deviation. So there is this possibility that ineffective article assistant might take shelter behind the audit program, saying that this procedure is not present in the article, is not present in the audit program. So this is also one of the disadvantage. Again, for this disadvantage also, the single solution is asking the article assistant to be open-minded, right? Next, it may kill the initiative of efficient and enterprising assistant. So there will be some article assistants who wanted to explore more, right? So if you give an audit program and ask them to strictly stick to this audit program, then they might be, their hands might be tied, right? Because they wanted to explore more areas, they wanted to perform more audit procedures, but you are restricting them just to audit program. Again, for this disadvantage also, the solution is being open-minded. See how to overcome these disadvantages. Firstly, imaginative supervision of the work. Auditor must have a receptive attitude. So if at all article assistant has gone beyond the audit program and if he has found something new and article assistant comes and communicates the same to the auditor, you should be willing to accept it. Okay, you should have a receptive nature. The principal should have a receptive nature, and assistants should be encouraged to observe more objectively. Objectively means based on facts. So you should encourage the article assistants to observe the things more objectively. Understanding? So this is how you can overcome the disadvantages. And some of the advantages of audit program. Firstly, audit program will act as a clear set of instructions, right? So in the audit program, you have kept certain audit procedures and you have given it to the article assistant. So you are giving a clear instruction to the article assistant what has to be done by him, right? So there will not be any confusion for the article assistant also. He will be getting the clear instruction of procedures that has to be performed from his side, right? So audit program will act as a clear set of instructions. Next, total perspective of work to be performed. Article assistant also, he will have a whole idea of what is his scope. If he performs which procedures, his work will be completed. So the aspects about his work, the total perspective about his work, he will have an idea through this audit program, and it avoids overlooking of certain books and records, and responsibility for the work carried out by putting signature. So in the audit program that you have given to the article assistant, once the article assistant has performed all the procedures that are there in that audit program, he has to sign it. sign the audit program saying that yes, he has performed all the procedures that are there in the audit program, so that in future if it is found out that the procedures that are listed in audit program are not performed properly, you can fix accountability on that article assistant because he has signed it now, right? Next, control the progress of various audits. See, the audit firm, it will be carrying out number of audit engagements simultaneously. So a particular audit partner, the principal, the chartered accountant, he will be handling many audits simultaneously. Various teams will be working on each audit. So for the principal to check what is the status of each audit, by just seeing audit programs of all the audits, he will get to know how much amount of work is completed, still how much amount of work is pending. That idea he can get by going through the audit programs of all the audits, right? And guide for audits to be carried out. All these are the advantages of audit program. So this is complete discussion with respect to SA 300. Can let me know if you have any doubts. So in the next class, that is day after tomorrow, we will be discussing fourth chapter, okay, which is related to risk assessment. That SA 315, 320, 330, all those standards related to risk assessment we will be covering in the uh, basically today is 25th, right? 26th, on 27th we will be revising that particular chapter, okay. Yes, so I hope this class is useful to you. We'll be winding up this session as of now. We'll meet you in the next session. Until then, take care. Bye bye. See you.